Right here, welcome back. It's time to begin the show in earnest. And as usual, we begin, of course, with the headlines this morning. Yes. We've been joined by leadership and communications expert, or strategist, if you like, Dr. John. Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
All right, let's begin with the punch. 2019 presidency restructuring condition for alliance. Southern groups tell northern elders.
I'm a little bit disappointed if with our experiences politically here and there, if at this level somebody is saying that, oh, restructuring has suddenly become, if there's any, word like that, has suddenly become another condition for support. At every point in time, we have learned in this country that once it's about a year or 9 months to election, we continue to beat the drum of restructuring. So, and after the election, what happens?
Yeah, but the drum of restructuring has been beaten for quite a while now.
And after elections,
South leaders too have been saying restructuring or nothing.
How much of
without
the word,
restructuring, you're not getting out.
How much of the word did you hear about restructuring that's before the 2011 election? How much of it did you hear? So it shows that, anytime we are approaching election, people will come out and say, oh, they are representing the interest of one group. These people here, these southern leaders that are talking about restructuring are not representing my interests. They are not representing the interests of my family. Because this is 21st century, I am not going to play a restructuring card any longer. There are more important things now. Because I know it's not as if restructuring is not important. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I have learned to understand that it is very easy for us to play the card of restructuring. And just immediately after election, we are not going to talk about it.
And what does this speak about the regional leaders, really? If you're playing politics with restructuring, where many, of course, have said and realized that that is the only way people at the local level, the people at the grassroots, the common masses would, have direct effect of the dividends of democracy and better governance from the top. And then they are saying that that's the only way they would support the government for
restructuring is not the only way. It's in fact far behind the ways to get a good governance in Nigeria.
Really? What would you be recommending?
The first way is having good leadership. If you restructure the governance structure today, if you give more powers to the state, to the state governor, does that translate that the state governors will do more?
And does it translate that how it's been done now is the best way to be done? Okay, let's just make some things clear. Which do you support? That this is the way it's supposed to be done, or this is the way it is done, though it is not the right way, because I don't support these people that are supposed to be given the power, that are the true owners of the power. We should just leave it in the hands of the wrong person, which is the right one.
I do not really understand what you mean by leaving it in the wrong
Because hand. Nigeria is a federation.
Let me tell you.
Federated states are supposed to be at least independent, to have some things, for example,
some level of autonomy.
All that, but that is not how it's being practiced in Nigeria.
See, the autonomy that we have, how well have we used it? And I'm talking about the autonomy of spending whatever resources we get from federation.
Yeah, but it is not. Is it not the so-called the skewed structure? Let's move on, because unfortunately we don't have time. You see, that is what restructuring. When the debate about restructuring starts, you just go off the track. 71 die in Russia. Let's move away from Nigeria a little bit. 71 human beings have lost their life in this Russian plane crash. Of course, we hear that investigations are ongoing already to unravel the cause of this.
It's just within minutes. It happened just within minutes when the plane actually left the airport. And it's really a sad incident. And I believe that after investigation, it's a little bit different from what we have in our climes here, where you talk about investigation and after that you didn't get to hear anything. So we seriously await whatever the outcome of the investigation.
All right, and finally from the Punch, of course, there's still many other stories, but this one might just catch your fancy. Alleged frame-up, FG arraigns Dino Melaye March 1. Okay.
All right, so we go to the Nation newspaper. The major story here, 2019, Governors Shan Obasanjo's coalition. CNM opens talks with Labour Party, the third force somehow having forces against it.
Labour Party? Labour Party. If you look at Labour Party at the moment, I'm not sure Labour Party is the best of parties to actually open talks with. Owing to the
even Labour Party seems to be in talks with some other parties too.
In fact, owing to the fact that they are even facing a lot of leadership crisis as we speak now. An election is just how many months away.
Is there any of the parties that's not really facing some kind of crisis?
But I think that of Labour Party is a little bit very strong because we have two people that are saying, oh, me, Nigba is the language. I'm not going to agree. I am the leader of the party and all that. But again, politicians, I'm not sure politicians actually need this coalition to win election now. The APC is helping them so well to win election under any platform, except if there's any magic that's going to happen between now and election. Because the failure of APC, the obvious failure of APC now is actually an opportunity for any other party to come up.
Any hope for this reconciliation committee headed by Asiwaju?
Of course there are hope. You know, one order that is actually favoring Buhari at the moment is the fact that many of those people that are supporting APC are doing so because they have something to gain at the end of the day. Many of the leaders, perhaps...
Not because they believe in him?
Not because they believe in him, not because they believe in him. Okay. They know that if this man comes back for a second time, perhaps after the 2019 election, it's going to be their own turn. That's why they are keeping quiet and supporting him. So they have something to gain.
It's not because... Turn by turn Nigeria
Yes, it's not because they are afraid that if another northerner comes up now, that one will want to go for a second time. So what is going to be the fate of the South and the South-West people? Especially. You understand? Okay. So at this moment in time, it's not because many of these politicians totally believe that, oh, Buhari is the man, but because they know that if they actually support him to get a second term bid, maybe it's going to be.
And that's why they don't want to rock the boat. Okay.
2023.
Yes. 150,000 policemen attached to VIPs, unauthorized persons, says Okiru of the Police Service Commission.
How many of them?
How many police officers do we have in Nigeria?
300,000.
Over 300,000. Just tell it to over 300,000.
And this is the reality.
And about half of those are official drivers and handbag carriers of
unfortunately,
VIPs.
Some of these policemen would prefer to be attached to these VIP people. Because once you are attached to them, at least you can eat the crumb that is falling from the table. You understand? The condition of service in the police force today is nothing to write home. It's terrible. Absolutely. It's honestly terrible. Absolutely. And I can talk about it because I lived in the barrack for a time.
So when a person like Mike Okiro, former CP, he's held every, up to IG, when he comes out to say this, is he re-echoing what Senator Issa Misau has been, crying himself hoarse about?
Of course, obviously. Either we like it or not.
Everything he's been saying about the police and the
either we like it or not, I believe at one point or the other, he also benefited from the current happening in the police.
Who do you mean he?
I
Mike
mean,
Okiro?
Mike Okiro also benefited. Our problem, our sickness in Nigeria is that you don't get to see anything wrong while you are in power.
Until you leave.
Until you leave, it is then you continue to say, oh, this thing is wrong. We lack this.
And then you start writing letters.
The not in my backyard kind of approach that you don't want anything to be amiss while you're in charge.
You understand.
Okay, so we'll take another story. Yes, health workers serve 21-day strike notice. Another crisis looming there in the health sector. We'll leave that aside. A picture of a crushed vehicle on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Ex-Minister Shagaya dies in road crash. Very sad development. And we have to point out that there seems to be a growing number of road accidents lately across the country.
Of course, the rains have ruined our roads. So what do you expect? Even within the Lagos metropolis, you understand? And we keep talking about HIV/AIDS, we keep talking about malaria. And if you check the statistics of people that actually lose their life on the road, I think it's even more than all these diseases put together. So there's a need for us to be deliberate in our fixing road. The East-West Road was awarded during Obasanjo's regime. As we speak now, we're still battling with it. I don't know how long it's going to take us to fix our road here, the Lagos-Ibadan.
Well, Obasanjo didn't release any fund anyway.
You understand? So I think it's high time for us to be deliberate about fixing our roads. Don't let us say we are fixing electricity. Because at the end of the day, if you fix electricity, and the number of people we are losing on our roads are not even available to use the electricity. At the end of the day, what's
a very sad development here now that more and more high-profile Nigerians are actually dying on the roads.
In all honesty, if you want to judge the situation, I think many people are happy.
How?
How, quote unquote, because they believe that the only thing that can actually shift attention of government to fixing some of this road is when high-profile people die.
It's never good to wish anyone dead. Anyway, other stories here. Sad development. Suspected herdsmen kill farmer in Ekiti. Nigeria's 2018 World Cup outing threatened. 2 policemen missing in Benue herdsmen attack. 4 men killed in Kaduna. Sanusi to headers reign in criminals.
All right, let's quickly move on to the Daily Sun. Of course, the Daily Sun reports very boldly there the story of the 150,000 policemen on unauthorized duty. Police Service Commission raises the alarm. And blood flows in Kaduna and Plateau. Governors, senators, reps plot to dump APC. APC says it's nothing but hogwash. It's just speculation.
Yeah,
of course, it also reports the John Shagaya death in auto crash. Illegal structure, Lagos seals redeemed church and others. Construction workers arraigned, jailed by mobile court.
You see, there's a way they cast some of these headlines and you're wondering. In the first place, the religious distant sentiment will come in. But is a church expected to build? Do we expect a church to actually build in unauthorized places? That's the first question. So, but because they want to play the religious card.
Even the Bible says, you know, people obey the rules of the land, obey the laws.
So it's not about the church, it's about the fact that once you build in an illegal place, then the state government has the right to remove the building or ask you to remove it.
You're through.
What else do we have here? Absolutely nothing else. I guess we'll have to put it to rest.
Okay, so we go to the Vanguard. Major story here, fuel crisis. PDP, APC in verbal war over president's role with multiple riders. Buhari should quit as Minister of Petroleum. That's according to the PDP. They don't know the workings of the presidency, APC. And then PIGB meaningless with president as minister. That's according to a group. What do you have to say about it? What caught my attention is the statement credited to the APC that they don't know the workings of the presidency.
We're there for
hello? Hello?
When it comes to experience, these are masters, you know. But again, I bought a liter for 180 naira yesterday. So if you ask me... In Lagos, yes. I bought in Ikorodu 180 naira yesterday. So if you ask me, I am really, really, really very sad about the reality. Unfortunately, even when the president leaves the ministry today, if he says, okay, let's appoint a petroleum minister, the situation may remain the same. You know why? History has taught us that no matter how powerful a petroleum minister is always taking direct instructions from the president. Absolutely. So he will still be studying the body language of the president. So if the president does not move, for example, the petroleum minister will not move because the president either will like it or not. There are a lot of cover-up.
But the thing is, doesn't the president already have too much on his plate to add the petroleum ministry to that plate?
In Nigeria, everything revolves around the president. In fact, I used to say, apart from what the Constitution says, the Constitution recognizes just about one person. The president.
Do you really want me to complete that?
the president is already too burdened with a lot of responsibility. But I'm not saying that the president should not share responsibilities, but I'm saying that even at that, even if we appoint a petroleum minister today, we have a state
Minister of
State.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, this man will not be able to do anything because the GMD will even bypass him to go to the president. Everybody is taking order from the president.
There was a drama that happened just months ago. We don't know how that has panned out.
Well, they'll tell us that it was just a smoke.
So if we do not solve this issue
what
of
do you expect really the president to do? And do you really expect that the president will respond to this growing call for him to
step down? Minister of
because
Petroleum.
it's this same man that appointed just one person to be the minister of 3 ministries in the country, and people are still calling on him to unbundle the sectors and appoint 2 other ministers.
In all honesty, to be a president in Nigeria, to a certain degree, you have to have your own way of doing things. You do not respond to every call. That if they want you to sack somebody and you quickly go and sack the person, Nigeria is a very difficult nation.
Yeah,
to
true.
govern.
That's understandable.
Let me put
but if it's not working,
no, it's only Nigeria. You see, there's a difference between fact and figure. in Nigeria. The government is working with figure. So to them, everything is working. But we are working with fact. Everything is not working.
Maybe that's why,
so there's a disconnect.
That's why the APC is saying they, meaning the PDP, they don't understand the workings. So they don't know the workings of the president.
There's a disconnect between what the government thinks and what the people are going through.
Okay.
That is why most often you expect them to act and they are not acting.
Okay. Benue killings. We can't continue to promote sycophancy, mediocrity. That's according to Governor Samuel Otom of the state.
Yeah. Yes, sycophancy, that's coming from those people who are hailing the president to high heavens and saying, "Oh, nothing is happening, just continue." The fact is that we have a national tragedy in our hands. Unfortunately, not too many people, including the supporters of the president, not too many people believe that the president is doing enough on it, including me.
And now, unfortunately, the governor, Samuel Otom, has called on his people to defend themselves. And I'm wondering if it's not a recipe for chaos, real chaos.
Well, his spokesperson said the governor was misquoted, that he's a lover of peace.
But it will always get to a point where you will not allow your people to be killed. Absolutely. It will always get to that point. We remember
when
what happened.
When you say they should defend themselves, how?
Defend themselves anyhow.
By all means necessary.
And that's an invitation to chaos. Anyhow.
My point,
so
exactly.
I'm not going to blame the governor for saying the people should defend themselves. Either you call on them or not, they are going to defend. It's going to get to a point. I'm going to blame the federal government for allowing things to get to the point where the governor, either rightly or wrongly, is calling on the people to defend themselves.
The chief security officer of a state who has no power to even protect his people.
All right, Dr. John, we'll have to leave it there with the newspaper headlines this morning. But we're holding you back.
Yes.
If you allow us, if you oblige us. Of course, the show continues right after this short break. Still a whole lot more to discuss.